Hello guys and welcome back to Crafty Fox Blue. This is episode 4 of Foxshot School of Realistic Building. So in this episode we're going to be going over the concept of 3D technique. Now what that is exactly that we're using three-dimensional layers when we're building stuff. So for example, this is a two-dimensional layer, so it's very flat, there's no depth into it, it's just a block inside. And this is 3D, where we're actually having two layers into it, so it's kind of like it makes a hole in it, but from the front you'll see like we have a nice thin line while still having that brick layer. Now this is a very useful technique when you're actually building a lot of things, so I will show you examples later on the video, but if you do want to have a thinner line than this, you can just use trapdoors like that. And you got our nice brick wall, and you don't have to exactly place it right here. You can place it on the top layer, whichever layer is comfortable for you. And then we can do also the inverse of this, where we have the brick slab in the front and then the quartz in the back, and this one looks more uniform compared to the other ones. And it all depends, so you have many different options. So I'm going to go over some examples to use this all 3D technique. So for example, this is like a regular door, 2x3, it's a 1.5 to 1 scale. And you know, it's nice and flat, but then we have this 3D door, and it actually looks thinner than the other one. It has also like the door frame detail, which looks very nice. And for this window right here, this is the two-dimensional window. There's no depth to it. And then right over here is 3D window, which you'll have to use on Foxshot. So you see the windows on the inside, and then we're able to add in all this detail with the frame, with like the middle bar, top, and bottom frames of it. And another example is to use for designs, such as this Pepsi truck. This is where I used 3D again, so you see lapis lazuli inside, and I was able to make the letters on the outside part. And this also applies to building trains. So this is the Deutsche Bahn ICE 3. I used this 3D effect for the red line. It's very thin on the side, and if I didn't use 3D, it'll be a lot thicker. So if I took a red block and I tried to make it without 3D, it would be super thick and it wouldn't be as accurate as it could be. You see, if I use this red, it's very, very thick and blocky. You may like this look, but if you're going for a realistic build, this is what you should do. If the line is thin, make it actually thin. Don't make it really thick and blocky. And you can do the same 3D techniques. Cylindrical grain hopper for Canada. So this is Canada on the side of it. And I used 3D for that, as well as the logo. Looks very nice. I also used it for the Long Island Railroad. One of their diesel locomotives. You see the window here is three-dimensional as well. See, I wanted the window centered on that, as well as this part over here is like a box in the middle. It's centered. So if I had like without 3D effect, you know, and I want to build this box here, I couldn't exactly fit it in the middle. You see, it's either up here or up down here, and this is one way you can put it in the middle where it's exactly supposed to be. And not to mention the most obvious 3D detail of this is the blue lines across the side. It's very thin. Before my original one, it was much thicker, like this thick, but that is actually way too thick. And another example here is a Union Pacific tender. I used it for the flag. And then over here we have the BNSF, one of their locomotives. I used the 3D effect for the yellow stripe across the side. And slightly over here in the bottom with the black stripe. And I also did a little bit with the logo. See, I made the end with the orange in the background. So that is several techniques on how to use 3D. So there's actually another level to this called Ultra 3D. So there is another stage to 3D. It's called Ultra 3D, and that means we added another layer to the 3D layer. So as you can see, these buildings right over here, they use Ultra 3D. Like they want to have the horizontal beam right over here. You just add in a trapdoor in the front of it, like so. So you got the glass layer, you got this frame layer, and then this is like a secondary frame layer. And this building has it here as well. You have like the horizontal bars across. And here is another example of Ultra 3D. You see we have the glass layer back there and this frame layer and then these vertical lines going down, and this looks actually pretty good. I would say this is like one of the best uses for Ultra 3D. You want to have both horizontal and vertical beams, and you may need Ultra 3D to actually achieve the desired look, and this looks very nice. So I hope you guys found this video helpful and you guys can learn to use 3D techniques in your build. It's going to make it a whole lot better. If you've been just doing 2D builds in the past, try 3D out. It's really good and more realistic, and you have a lot of different choices. I mean, you don't even have to use 3D all the time. Even if you use it a little bit, that's good enough. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the video. If you do, remember hit that like button down below. Subscribe if you hadn't already, and I will see you guys in episode number 5 of Foxshot School of Realistic Building. See you later.